Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 17, Sloka 4. Tato neka sahasra koti vimananika shankula deva yanena avatar antindu mandalam avarya brahma sadhane nipatati. Synonyms. Tata, after purifying the 7 planets of the 7 great sages, aneka, many, sahasra, thousands, koti, of millions, vimana aneka, with contingents of airplanes, shankula, congested, deva yanena, by the spaceways of the demigods, avataranti, descending, Indu Mandalam, the moon planet, Avarya, inundated, Brahma Sadhane, to the abode of Lord Brahma, atop Sumeru Parvata, Nipatati, falls down. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After purifying the 7 planets near Dhruvaloka, the pole star, the Ganges water is carried through the spaceways of the demigods in billions of celestial airplanes. Then it inundates the moon, Chandraloka, and finally reaches Lord Brahma's abode atop Mount Meru. Purport. We should always remember that the Ganges river comes from the causal ocean beyond the covering of the universe. After the water of the causal ocean leaks through the hole created by Lord Vamanadeva, it flows down to Dhruvaloka, the pole star, and then to the 7 planets beneath Dhruvaloka. Then it is carried to the moon by innumerable celestial airplanes, and then it falls to the top of the Mount Meru, which is known as Sumeru Parvata. In this way, the water of the Ganges finally reaches the lower planets and the peaks of the Himalayas. And from there, it flows through the Haridwar and throughout the plains of India, purifying the entire land. How the Ganges water reaches the various planets from the top of the universe is explained herein. Celestial airplanes carry the water from the planets of the sages to other planets. So-called advanced scientists of the modern age are trying to go to the higher planets, but at the same time, they are experiencing a power shortage on Earth. If they were actually capable scientists, they could personally go by airplane to other planets, but this they are unable to do. Having now given up their moon excursions, they are attempting to go to other planets, but without success. Om Agnanati Mirantasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmenilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapalakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswat Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So the topic from past few days, if we see, is about the planetary systems which are above the Bhumandala and below the Bhumandala. And this topic was started by Shukadeva Goswami based on the interest shown by Parikshit Maharaj. If Parikshit Maharaj could not have asked a question, definitely he could have gone to next topic. But of course, in the initially itself in 2110 or 2101, the 10 topics of Bhagavatam has been described. 2101, yeah, because in 9th he will tell all those to Brahma, and then yeah. Shri Shuka Uvacha Atra Sargo Visargascha Sthanam Poshanam Udhaya Manvantareshanu Nirodha Muktir Ashrayaha. So now we see Sargaha, statement of the creation of the universe. This even we saw in the previous chapter also. Visarga, statement of sub-creation. That's what we are seeing from 5th canto, 16th chapter onwards. And Sthanam, the planetary systems, Poshanam, protection. And in fact, in further chapters, we will be seeing about how sun planet came, and when sun planet came, Surya Narayana. So how everybody felt that he's as effulgent as Narayana. All these things and all also we will be seeing. And some descriptions about Jambudvipa and the people who live in the Jambudvipa, like even Hanuman descriptions were also there, and Prahlad, these things are also there. Everything was there. But the particular topic right now is about descendants of Ganges into this world. Whereas the start of this is from Lord Vamanadev. It was there in causal ocean, and after that, when Vamanadev in the Bali Maharaj Leela that we all know, when he lifted his leg, the toe tip of his finger touched the end of the universe, and from there the Ganges came. And we saw in the previous slokas also in this chapter 517, 1, 2, 3 and all, how when Ganges came, it fall on Shiva, and then Dhruvaloka also, topmost planet in this in this universe. Whereas this has been taken as the center, pole star. So for this pole, all planets, considering this as center, all planets are revolving. And this is again looking like pretty much different from the modern science. And we can see many conspiracies with geocentric theory also. But forget about all those. When it comes to Bhagavatam, we should believe. Why we should believe? So that day, Friday, Tathit Prabhu was also saying, we are not running after trends. These trends, no, every 100 years, every 10 years, everything changing. And in fact, I was seeing one day one interview by modern scientist. He was giving the definition of science itself is, it always changes. If something does not change every moment, then that is not science. Like that, the definition was. But when we see the transcendental science that we are seeing, from the creation of the universe, it has been constant. And this transcendental science, which has been spoken to Shukadeva Goswami, has been there from Satyayuga. And we can see all the pastimes from every yuga, from every Manvantara, and all this and all also has been noted in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But when we come to the topic of these planetary systems, it's always confusing because of one reason. Mainly, we were brainwashed from our childhood that solar system looks like this only, our galaxy looks like this only, all these things, and we were never taught these Puranas and all. If we could have been taught in the childhood itself, then you will ask the same question to your school teacher also. So that day Prabhu was telling one point, no, all this apparatus that they are using to measure these things and to see these things like telescope and all this and all are coming with an error percentage. Even in fact, any experiment we do in our science lab also, we need to write subject to errors, and the equipment is also prone to error. So these guys, let's say like 20-30 years back, they were saying Pluto was a planet which is revolving around sun, and now they are saying that is not the planet which is revolving around sun, like Earth, Mars and all. So after 10 more years, they may give some other conclusion. Then where will you end up if we start believing like this? And now Prabhupada gave nice words in the purport that their excursions for moon has been finished, and now they are trying to travel to other planets. This he has given how many years back? In 1970s. Still it is valid, and it will be valid forever. As he told, my books will be there for next 10,000 years. No, till we see this knowledge, definitely this will be valid. Their excursions will be going on, and even in today's letter also, no, very beautiful. He was saying, even if you go to moon, Shikshamrita, even if you go to moon, you may not live permanently, and even if you live permanently, you cannot live like on Earth. Then what's the point? So all these problems of going to other planetary systems or exploring other planets, all these are there because of every human being has the factor called jignasa. But the inquiry and inquisitiveness, but they are not using for atato brahma jignasa. So there was one statement. Now we see, in fact, recently I saw $100 billion contract project was given to SpaceX for this interplanetary travel. And someone was saying that if they give even $100 billion, forget about it, $1 billion also, these books, when we publish all over the world and give it to everyone and try to teach, then all this unnecessary costs, that whatever we are spending, unnecessary endeavor, that whatever we are doing for this interplanetary traveling will be nullified, and people will live even more happily. The more the technology is increasing, the more the anxiety is increasing. Whereas our travel system for Vaikunta, so where there is no anxiety, is exactly opposite to this. Then that day also one question came, no, then how come you can use this technology? Like best use of bad bargain. So that way, we got this human body and we are getting this technology, and everything we should use for Krishna, like Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe. So Anasakte Visham, we neglect the things which are not required for us, and we do this Krishna consciousness with technology in line with Krishna consciousness. And yesterday I was seeing one verse, whereas this interplanetary system that these guys so much trying now, it has been already done by all our munis from ages, by our sages from ages. So I was seeing one place in second canto, maybe you can help me in searching that verse, second canto, second chapter or third chapter. Whereas when the sages came from upper planets, right, their hair became wet because they traveled through Ganges water. Now we see, right, in these 4 slokas that Ganges is flowing from topmost planet to the lower planet, and when we want to go from one place to another place, 385. Yes, 385, correct. Yeah. Okay. So when we want to go from one place to another place, for example, we make a road, right? Big system, whereas even 100-kilometer national highway also costs more than 200-300 crores Indian rupees. In fact, that is not enough actually. If the place is belonging to government, then it costs that much. Otherwise, if they need to do the deforestation or they need to vacate people and all, it costs thousands of crores. 100 kilometer of national highway also. But the national highway, not even international highway, inter-universal highway has been created by Krishna already through Ganges. Only thing is that the permission is not there for everyone to travel. Just like the toll gates are there by government, no? If you want to travel on these roads, national highways, you should be rich enough. You should be affordable enough to pay the toll gates and then go on to the roads. So that way, here you should be rich enough spiritually to travel through this Ganges water from all planetary systems down. So you see here, when the sages came, how came? Now we see, right, 7 planetary systems of 7 sages has been also given in 517, 1 also, sorry, 2, or, okay. The previous slokas, it has been given the 7 sages name, all these things and all also, no? Now you see here how they traveled using Ganges water. The sages came from the highest planets down to the lower region through the water of the Ganges, and therefore the hair on their heads was wet. They touched the lotus feet of the Lord, which are worshipped with various paraphernalia by the daughters of Serpent King when they desire good husbands. So, so when we see here the interstellar travel, the famous movie that we all know, Interstellar, even the scientist also in this is the one, or the other one, Martian, I think it has been telecasted in space also. In the so this one also, this one and Martian. There is one more movie called whereas how a person live on Mars, like that. So these 2 movies has been even telecasted in the spaceship also. That interstellar travel has been already done, whereas through Ganges they dip at one place and then they come out from another place, the interplanetary travel. And through Ganges their body becomes so subtle that they can travel through all the planetary systems. If we see the purport that Prabhupada has been given, the Ganges water flows directly from the lotus feet of Vishnu, same point that mentioned in the today's purport, and its course runs from the highest planet of the universe down to the lowest. The sages came down from Satyaloka by taking advantage of the flowing Ganges water. They never built roads like Ravana foolishly building the stairs for the Swargaloka, no? Opposite way, Aroha Panda, Avaroha Panda. But the scientists are exactly like Ravanas. In fact, there was one more comparison said that the scientists are Kaliyuga Shekunis. Shekuni spoiled Duryodhana very quickly. It could not have happened that fast if Shekuni was not there. So that way, this Kaliyuga will be spoiled very quickly because all these scientists are Kaliyuga Shekunis. Whereas they want to serve the Kalipurusha. How they Shekuni served the Duryodhana, who is none other than Kalipurusha personified. So that way they are serving this Kalipurusha, and then they will bring the end of this world who can live peacefully. Whoever want to live peacefully, they will bring the end for that, for sure. That day I was trying to drink some juice at Perumal temple because I was feeling so thirsty. Afternoon when we were doing Sankirtan, went to the shop. There was only one company juice, whereas some ingredients are not suitable for us, even for juice also. It's like manufactured, may contain, like this and all are there. So to do bhakti, if you want to drink juice, that much also you cannot get properly, then how much it will become tough when the time goes further and further, and people start complaining about this, and then many people will neglect this process. So this way, the encouragement will be given from all this food processing industry, from all the scientists and everyone, for not doing bhakti and for not living peacefully, and then get the distraction very fastly. So the sages came down from Satyaloka by taking advantage of the flowing water, a process of transportation made possible by the power of mystic yoga. If a river flows thousands and thousands of miles, a perfect yogi can at once transport himself from one place to another simply by dipping in its water. See, this is what that guy in the spaceship entered in one hole and came from another place on another planet, and again entered through the same hole and came onto the earth. His daughter is more older than the grandparents or something like that. No, he says, I will come in 1 minute. I will come very quickly. Something like this he will say and go. But These all, actually, they call our stories and our history as mythology. And this is called as fantasy and scientific, what is that another? Science fiction, all these and all. This is actually mythology. Interstellar movie, Martian movie, all these are mythology, myth. Not Mahabharat, Ramayana and all. So can they show proof? They cannot. Spider-Man, He-Man, Superman, Batman, all mans, except Krishna man, Rama man. So that was that day I was telling this point also when we were doing a book distribution in Perumal Temple, at Perumal Temple. Teach your kids about Rama and Krishna also, who are the real superheroes, not only about Spider-Man, He-Man, Batman and all. Then yesterday also, even Rama temple we went for Sankirtan. Then I was trying to give Ramayana. One guy was like, no, I don't read religious books. And then that brothers, around 15, 16 years, both brothers, they were discussing that this temple coming is, their parents already just a bit away from them and they are taking the shoes. Then I was taking the opportunity to preach them. Then they were talking like this, hey, this temple and all boring. Now we are going to restaurant. No, that is the interesting part for them. They came to Rama, they bowed on and all. I don't know whether they did or not. Definitely they could not have done. They just prayed to Rama, but don't know about Rama. This is the ignorance. Can we do the same thing when we take them to school? No, right? We will even force them. Know about the teacher, know about the school, know about the science, know about the social, all these things and all. But when it comes to temple, no. That time it is KNOW no. This time it is NO no. All this because, first of all, parents are not trained in Krishna consciousness. And parents are not convinced. Then how it will come for the children? It will not. So that's why first, when we take this process, we should follow properly, we should know properly, and then we should teach to our kids also properly. Then this way, these myths that scientists are teaching us will be busted. From one place to another simply by dipping in its water. The Ganges is the only celestial river which flows throughout the universe, and great sages travel all over the universe via this sacred river. The statement that their hair was wet indicates that it had been directly moistened by the Ganges, the water originating from the lotus feet of Vishnu. And one more thing, that dipping in Ganges water, people feel so pious, but the main reason is this: it has been touched by Vishnu. Jai Shri Radha. It has been touched by the lotus feet of Vishnu. That's the main reason. Whoever touches the water of the Ganges to his head surely touches the lotus feet of the Lord directly, and thus becomes free from all effects of sinful activities. And in fact, in the six questions by sages in the first canto, first chapter, I think 15th shloka, in that 15th or 16th, in that Ganges will be clearing your sins only after many times you 15, right? So many times you dip, but association of the pure devotee at once kill all your sins. So even here also it will make you get rid away from all sinful acts, but as soon as you come out of the Ganges water, again it is like Kunjara Sauchvat, like elephant bathing, that in the 6th canto, first chapter, that Parikshit Maharaj was asking question about this point, no? So because of that, like we are used to do the same sinful activities again and again, then automatically we will be prone to do the same mistake again, and our sins are never gone away like this, right? If after taking a bath in the Ganges and being washed all sins, a man guards himself against committing further sinful activities, then certainly he is delivered. Otherwise, he is not delivered. But if he again takes up sinful activities, his bath in the Ganges is as good as that of the elephant. Prabhupada was saying the same point. Who nicely takes his bath in a river, but later spoils the whole thing by covering himself with dust on the land. That day Prabhu was saying in the Sunday class, for what we are going for Kumbh Mela? To dip in the Ganges water or to see Mona Lisa. That some viral girl was there. So like this, people go for nonsense reasons, and they want to be pious. Somebody was like, even at the cost of locking their parents at their home, they don't know how to cook, nothing and all. And by the time they came back, their parents died. Old parents. So like this and all also. What piety, what is the teaching that they are getting from this bathing in Ganges? That's why it has been said here that more than bathing in Ganges, listening to a pure devotee will purify you. Yat pada samashraya shuta munaya paramashrayanaha. Sad, this one. Prashamayanaha. Sadhya punanti upashruta swardhunyapo unushveshaya. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the water of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. Now our sentiment for Ganges should go, and our scientific understanding of the Ganges should come. Mother Ganges, right? So this will happen with pure devotee association. Even if you go to the Tirtha Yatra and if you don't meet the devotees, then that pilgrimage is useless. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the water of the sacred river Ganges. Now you may say Ganges is also pure devotee, right? Why you call like that? Why there is discrimination? Because if you really know the glories of Ganges and what are all the activities done by Ganges and what are all the teachings that it is giving through the Ganges river, definitely good. But you will not do that. Then having the pure devotee association and listening about the Ganges and the Lord and all this will definitely purify you more than Ganges. That's the reason. One can derive spiritual benefit out of prolonged use of the Ganges water, but one can be sanctified at once by the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth as Shudra, woman or merchant, can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing can return to Godhead. So there was one more shloka that day, even Tathait Prabhu was also saying when he went to Prayag. Gokoti danam grahane kagasya Prayaga gangodaka kalpavasha. Yagnayutam meru suvarna danam Govinda kirte nasamam shatam shay. I think it's in Adi Purport. 789 or I don't know. 389. So Gokoti danam grahane kagasya. So during the inauspicious times like Grahana and all, eclipse and all, even if you do the crores of cows as a donation to the Brahmanas and all, even that piety, whatever you get, and Prayaga Gangodaka Kalpavasha, Prayaga shore and Ganga, even if you stay for a Kalpa, Brahma's time literally. So Kalpavasha, Yagnayutam Meru Suvarnadana. By doing yagna, sacrifice, and you gave the gold donation as much as the Meru mountain. We saw all the measurements of the Meru mountain, right? In the past slokas also, 16th chapter and all also. It went very fast actually. So even if you do that much also, Govinda Kirte Nasamam Shatam Shay. It is not even 1% valuable compared to the Harinama Kirtan, Govinda Kirtan that you do. This is the power of chanting. And this chanting you will know by pure devotee association. In fact, there is one more verse in 3rd chapter, Adi Leela, whereas Advaita Acharya was saying, 3rd or 5th chapter, he was saying that Pashandi, about the Pashandi, right? Ashwamedha Yagnas, Koti Ashwamedha Yagna, even if you do also, it is equivalent to the power of the Harinama. If you say like some percentage, you can help me for that verse. Percentage. So if you say Ashwamedha Yagna is equal to Harinama, then you are a Pashandi. You must be eligible for the highest punishment in this universe and the lowest planet in this. That's why, eighth offense, we say Karma Kanda. We compare this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with Karma Kanda. So that's why bathing in Ganges and doing these Karma Kanda activities and Prabhu 379, right? Adi, right? Oh, in this purport itself, it's a wow. Oh. कोटि अश्वमेध एक कृष्ण नाम सम एक है शे पाषंडी दंडे तारे यम. One who says that 10 million Ashwamedha sacrifices are equal to the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna is undoubtedly an atheist. He is sure to be punished by Yamaraj. So, in the purport also, Prabhupada was explaining about Dharma Vrata Tyaga Hutadi Sarva Shubha Kriya Samya Api Pramadaha. One should never consider the chanting of the holy name of Godhead equal to pious activities like giving charity to Brahmanas or saintly persons, opening charitable educational institutions, distributing free food, and so on. The results of pious activities do not equal the results of chanting the holy name of Krishna. Eighth offense that we read, no? That one. So, this way, if we see the Ganges river, that which is flowing even in the entire planetary system, which is coming from the lotus feet of Vishnu and which is coming from the causal ocean, even if you dip there or even if you do the travel through that or whatever it is, you cannot equate it to the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The point that I am trying to make is, though we know all this history of Ganges, if we really don't come to the point of serving the Lord, then it is useless. So even now we are knowing about all these planetary systems, all this and all. And again, it should connect us to improve our bhakti. Not, what do you say? Not to bring more confusion and not to bring more problems in our bhakti life. And when I was writing, this was my first article, a dwarf who is trying to catch moon. So this was the prose given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a dwarf who is trying to catch moon. Maybe you can help me with that CC verse. So these guys, no, these scientists and all are like that, these dwarfs who are trying to catch the moon through their Alpameda, little intelligence, that whatever they have. But what is the use? Shine Punye Martalokam Vishanti. Even after going there, you need to come back. And actually, Prabhu, I need a help here in this, how to go to 1972 version of Bhagavad Gita for this translation. (1972). Okay, good. Tetam bhuktva sargalokam vishalam shine punye martalokam vishanti evam traidharmam anuprapanna gata gatagam kama kama labante. When they have thus enjoyed heavenly sense pleasure, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, through the Vedic principles, they achieve only flickering happiness. In the other version, it is like they achieve the repeated birth and death. So I want to talk about this flickering happiness. Why we want to do planetary travel? Because we are thinking that the happiness will not be there here in future, and then we will make this planet messed up, and then we will go to another planets and we will enjoy the happiness again we will get. But as we were discussing in the previous verses also, like Kunjara Sochavat, if your consciousness does not change, even if you go to another planet also, you will spoil that planet also. Your nature is exploitation, greed. Even in the 7th canto, I think 14th chapter or 15th chapter, it has been said that a person who is with greed, no, Even if he conquers the entire universe also, he does not feel enough. So what's the point? Even you will exploit there again, and spoil there again. First of all, traveling there itself is questionable. They may not travel also. They cannot also. Because we can see from another shloka, like Vurdang gachanti sattvasva, madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganna guna vrittishta, ado gachanti tamasa. When we are in sattvagun, then only we can go to the upper planets. When we are in tamogun, definitely we'll go to the lower planets. That's why in 5:16:8, in the previous shlokas, like Prabhupada was also giving one more example, that he's saying they may, but if you see this purport, right? I still remember that day Narar Prabhu was giving this one. So what Prabhupada is saying, you see, it appears from these verses that aside from the sun and moon, there is an invisible planet called Rahu. The movements of Rahu cause both solar and lunar eclipses, which suggests that these modern expeditions attempting to reach the moon are mistakenly going to Rahu. So for this consciousness that whatever the scientists have, which are in Tamogun and Rajagun, definitely they will go to lower planets, which is Rahu kind of thing. Even that also they did not do. Even few days back also, Wednesday, Tatvik Prabhu was giving class, no? I was trying to mention some point, and then later I made one shorts also. So the point is that Trishanku Swarga, Prabhu was mentioning that point, then I liked it a lot. So in Ramayana, there was one king called Trishanku, and he wanted to go to the heavenly planets in the same body. Then he go to Vasishta and request. Then Vasishta says, this is Avedic. You cannot do this. I cannot do this for you. But since Vasishta said no, Vishwamitra said yes, due to enviousness. Then he created, he tried to send, and later he created the entire heavenly planetary system also. He was there struck in between heaven and earth. So like this, these scientists were struck in the space where they went for 18 days, and then they were struck for 9 months. They could not bring human mortals who were just 400 kilometers up back to the earth properly. Can we believe in 1960s with Dabba computers? They went back and did the live telecast and came back. This is myth. This is myth, not Ramayana. Mythology. Nice movie that they made. Made entire world fools. And in fact, Prabhu was saying that point, no? When they brought the TV in front of Prabhupada, Prabhupada was laughing by saying that. He knows the truth. In fact, he wrote the book Easy Journey to Other Planets way before they started this interplanetary travel system. How nicely he explained. And he mentioned this point also. Traveling to moon is useless. And now in today's purport also, he was mentioning this point. Because you will get flickering happiness. And these guys, like Elon Musk was giving one statement, no? I might have been born on the earth, but definitely I will not die on the earth. I will go to Mars and die, or I will go to moon and die. Like this and all he was saying. Definitely you will go to hell and die. So, these are all contradictory. Not even contradictory. False statements. False statements when it comes to the Shastra. But now, we may get some doubts that last Sunday also we were having some discussion. Me, Vishwambar Prabhu and Vrajeshwari Mataji during our breakfast about this sun, moon, distance, all these things and all. In fact, Bhagavata study, Swadhyaya, we should do the self-study. But at the same time, with Sadhu Sangha, we should discuss and improve our Bhagavatam study also. It must be done. Then other devotees will give their views, and then nice chanting will happen. What Prabhu, you are giving 2 days back one class, right? You are saying some terminology. What is that? This one only, chanting. One terminology you are giving in the class. You posted in the Zoom group also. So that one, chanting of the Shastra, that must be done. So we were discussing about this moon and sun, how Bhagavatam is saying that moon is nearer compared to sun, all this and all. Then on the other day, I was seeing one more shots. Even in fact, I asked Tathit Prabhu also about that. In Brahmanda Purana, in even Narsimha Kavacham that we read also from Brahmanda Purana, right? So from Brahmanda Purana, there is one statement that sun planet stays there only. But the sun planet's replica will be there in the 7 planetary systems through the 7 horses of the sun chariot. It is far. And it is as powerful as the sun. The original sun is there only. Like this, the statement was there. He was showing some manuscripts and all. But I also could not recall it. But if we take that way, then according to Surya Siddhanta also, that Tathit Prabhu was saying 2 days back when he was giving the lecture, the distances are matching, right? Then why to worry? Even that way also, we are not worrying about their distances. Like there was one more thing called Hanuman Chalisa. In that, the distance between sun and earth has been given 15 billion miles or something like that. Sahasra Yuga, like this, the Yojana, like this one sloka was there in Hanuman Chalisa. Even if we take that way also, these Sanskrit that whatever we are having is thousands of years before, and these guys hardly in 100 years back, 200 years back invented all this and proclaiming that this is true. Fools, Kumbh Mela is happening from ages and it is happening for every 12 years, and the Jupiter is taking 12 years of earthly years for one revolution. That we know from ages. You go to Google, 60, 70 years back only they found all this. Solar system, each one, Mars is like 2.5 years, 238 days or something like that. Venus is like, Mercury is like 68 days, one rotation, all this and all they were saying. 29 plus years for Saturn, like this, 29.7 years, like this. But this Kumbh Mela was happening from ages. Even if you take the modern history also, it is happening way beyond your discovery. By seeing all this, I can put more trust on this Shastra, this true nature of the Shastra, not on the false nature of the scientists, where they cannot stand on their words. Whatever they told today, they will speculate and change. When the light has been first time experimented, they have told that it is wave. Then after a few years, particle. Then they were also confused. Einstein and all this. Then they declared that those who told wave is also correct, those who told particle is also correct. So much hair, no? So those who told hair is not hair. Those who told wave is also correct. Those who told particle is also correct. Both are correct. Let's give Nobel Prizes for both, and to one more person who said both are correct. So what? Both are wrong. For them not given. Actually, there are many other natures of the wave, light. So this has been going on. In fact, I was seeing something about Einstein long back. Universe in a Nutshell, his book, very famous book. And the theory of relativity, all this and all. Everybody can experience things differently based on the place where they are situated. Then how you can experience the whole universe on a tiny planet. There is some transporter telescope mission, you know, transporter 1, transporter 2, like this and all. And it goes from the earth, goes like that till the end of the solar system. After 6.4 billion kilometers, that telescope was taking the picture of earth and sending speck of dust. Earth is a speck of dust. And on this planet we are staying, even according to them also, and many other planets are there, and you not even observed 0.5% of the universe. According to their calculations, these are all. And then you are saying that we are wrong and they are right. Where this should end? When we are strong and convicted and read our Shastras with so much deep diving, then we can. That's why this entire topic right now in Shikshamrita is about the scientists, debunking the scientists. Nowadays, whatever letters that we are reading. Even today letter also, Prabhupada was giving one more thing about the Shabda Brahma. That transcendental sound is not normal sound. transcendental vibration. In fact, there was one more thing that day I was even discussing with Tatit Prabhu also. Is the universe created by Shadda Brahma? There was one article like that. Huh? So, by considering all these points, we can clearly see that interplanetary travel or interstellar travel or believing in this planetary systems architecture, how it has been formed and how everything has been situated, all this can be possible only by reading Bhagavatam through sadhu. And again, this Bhagavatam is also bewildering. There are 18 Puranas and there are many Upanishads and there are many Samhitas, Vedas, all these and all. It's a vast ocean, no? How you will chant what you require in your span of maybe not even 100 years now, 60 years. In that also, as Prahlad Maharaj was giving one analogy in 7th canto, 6th chapter, no? This many years goes in the childhood, this many years goes in the sleep, and then this many years goes in the youth. Hardly how much you have to think about Krishna in between. 7, 6? Okay, you can help me with that number. So these many years it will go. Then hardly we have time. Then how we can achieve Krishna if we are wasting time in this? We have very short time. And this short time also we got after many lifetimes. Durlabham manusha deha dehinam shanabanguraha, right? In any minute it will be lost. Tatrapi durlabham manye Vaikunta priya darshanam. Even more precious than that is getting the association of pure devotee. And now we got. Still we are diverted through scientists. That's why the time that we are spending, even in case if we want to know about that science, we should not spend independently with respect to Bhagavatam. We should spend every moment of our time with respect to Bhagavatam. Then only we will achieve success. This is the true use of the Bhagavatam. You must use Bhagavatam for all the 10 topics. Like 2.10.1 was saying again about the 10 topics, right? Even if you want to know about the Sthanam, Poshanam, Utaya, like the creation, sub-creation, all this, Atra, Sarga, statement of creation, Visarga, not Big Bang theory. Give them a Big Bang to them. Visarga and Sthanam, all this and all, through Bhagavatam. This is the true nature that we devotees should possess. And how we can increase faith on Bhagavatam unless and until we don't read it more and more and we don't discuss more and more with whomever already read. That's why no tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevanam upadekshantite gnana gnanina sattvadarshanaha. Now even Shukadev Goswami in 5.16.4 in the last chapter, he was saying even one lifetime of Brahma is not enough to study part of this universe also. Then how can I describe Maharaj? Parikshit. So I will just tell, he is humbly saying, I'll just tell how much ever I know in whatever time that we have. In fact, they hardly discuss less than one day, no? This entire universal manifestation topic or planetary systems topic, in less than one day they discuss. So this way, if we see, our Shastra is the primary basis for entire science. And that should be known through devotees who already analyzing Shastra and analyzer Shastra. It will help our faith. Logically, we may answer some questions, we may not answer some questions. Like this one is there, no? Mahajena Yenagatasya Panta. What? Tarko, can you tell me sloka number? 17186. Tarko pratishtha srutayo vibhinna. Nashav rishir matam na bhinnam. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. Mahajano yena gatasya panta. And in fact, in this Mahajanas, whomever we are discussing about, that person is also there. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, in fact, not only Vedas, all the scientific studies, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajanas advocate. This progressive path only, even in fact, today Prabhupada was giving, saying that we should go in this progressive path. Mahajana Yanagadastabandha. And in that, Shukadeva Goswami is also one, right? Mahajanas. Yeah. So now Srimad Bhagavatam is given by Shukadeva Goswami and he is explaining about this planetary system. Then why not we take from him? So this is the simple way we should understand this Shastra, and that faith also by studying more and more. But that studying more and more interest also will come by chanting more and more sincerely. That will come by attending more and more Mangalarti and by doing more and more Sadhu Sangha and by eating only Prasada for newcomer Sangha. Like this. So that's the short note about the today's topic. So I'd like to conclude this way, and you can add some more points. Happy to show those. Otherwise, we can say Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Oh, question. I did not end the stream. If you want, you can ask. Shukracharya. Okay. Mantratas tantratas chidram. Desha kalarha vastutaha tasmat karoti nishchidram. Tasmat anusankirtanam. But yeah, good. And Hare Krishna. Thank you.